Hello, I'm Charlie. What have I forgotten this week? Got my shirt, got the lights, got the camera. I forgot the jazz. BRB. That's better. April 2020. What a month it's been. It's been the first month that we've all been in lockdown, which for the most part has not been good, but we've had a lot of time to sit down, watch a good movie. As such, I decided to do some small reviews for everything I watched in April. To keep this video shorter, I've only talked about each one for a little bit, but if you want to hear my full thoughts on it, then go to my Letterboxd page, is my name. So here we go. The first film I watched in April was Midnight Cowboy. I really liked this. It was really surreal. It had great acting from Dustin Hoffman, and I just thought it was very punchy. Then I watched Man Two Guvs from the National Theatre. It was free on YouTube, they did a live stream. I loved this, it was so funny. James Corden was great. This is really good. Then I watched the very topical Contagion. Very similar to what's going on right now, but also a bit more dramatic. It was very interesting to see how like a different set of people would have reacted to what's going on right now. Around this part of the month, I also started reading Directing Actors by Judith Weston, and I thought it was a very interesting book. Now TV put Do the Right Thing on their platform, so I literally clicked it immediately because I wanted to see that film for ages. This is definitely one to check out. I'll talk about it more in another recommendations video, but I thought it was really good and very important to watch. Next I watched The King's Speech, which won Best Picture a few years ago. Lots of people don't like this, and I don't know why. I thought it was really good. It's a very good British like period drama, and it was just good to see like the relationship between the king and his speech therapist. I heard Edgar Wright talking about this film called Big Trouble in Little China, and he said it was really good, so I was like, I'll check it out. And it was just great. It was completely self-aware about what it was. Definitely a cult classic if you like things that are a bit absurd and you don't really know what's going on. I just had a good time with this one. It was fun, it was entertaining, it was a good time. This is when I then started my Disney binge. Funnily enough, I hadn't actually seen many Disney films when I was little, so I was like, why not? Let's check them all out. But first I watched Hercules, which I really liked. Very funny, very creative. It's definitely cool to see like how different it was to anything, even though Disney's such a huge company. It was just like, there was a lot of things that were just very unique and I hadn't really seen before, which was really fun to see. Then I watched Where Are My Children, which was made in 1916, and I spoke a bit about this in my last video. It really wasn't my thing, and the silent aspect didn't really work because it wasn't like a comedy or a horror, which I think works best for silent film. But then I watched Crocodile Dundee, which one of my favourite films of the month. It has possibly one of the best endings I've ever seen. It was great how it was split into halves, like the first half was in Australia and then the second half was in the city, and how it like those two contrasted. Great film, please check it out. Then I watched Team America. Loads of bits that were really funny. A lot of bits that, even though obviously it's meant to be offensive, it felt like it was trying too hard, question mark. It just felt very purposely offensive, but it was fun. It was a fun time. Then I watched Dead Right, directed by Edgar Wright. It was one of his first films. I don't really know how you review this. It's just one of his student films. But it's very cool to see how like little parts of his style, and it's very predecessor of Hot Fuzz. So if you like Hot Fuzz or any of his films, check it out. It's on YouTube, or if you've got Hot Fuzz on Blu-ray, it's on the bonus features. Then I watched The Goonies for the first time. I don't know how I hadn't seen it before. I loved it. It was very cheesy, very random, but I can definitely see why it's a classic. Then I got a subscription for the BFI subscription channel, and me and my family rewatched What We Do in the Shadows, which I've spoken about it before. I love it, it's a great film. And then I also watched the documentary Room 237, which is about The Shining and all the theories about it. Really interesting. Even if you don't like agree with everything that the people say in it, definitely worth a watch just to learn a lot about how it was made and different ways people can analyse a film. Next on my Disney journey, I rewatched Robin Hood because I remember watching it when I was little and I used to not watch anything else. I still love it. I think it's one of the best animated films ever made. Obviously it's cool being from Nottingham, it's like your senior city made by Disney, it's kind of cool. It's very good. Then I watched Aladdin, which, how did I not see Aladdin before? It was great. Robin Williams was amazing. That's some of the best voice acting I've ever seen. Then I watched Babe about midnight, I think I watched it. I think there's a lot of things about it that are very interesting. It talks about being like vegan. If Grace, if you're hearing this, you know how it is. But yeah, it's very good, and the mice were great. What can I say? Next up I watched The Emperor's New Groove, which I didn't know anything about unlike the other Disney films I watched. I loved this. I thought it was really funny. I liked, again, great cast, and it's just a very interesting story. Unpredictable, but also not to the extent that I was like, I can't handle this, it's too intense. Finally, for the month, me and my family watched Rocket Man, which is the Elton John biopic. This was a very aggressive film, which obviously makes sense when you know about his life and stuff, but there was just a lot about it that was very stressful to watch, but it was also very interesting, so that's fine, because it was good. And that's all I watched for this month. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, give it a subscribe maybe, question mark. Side note, next month I'm also attempting the Letterboxd scavenger hunt challenge, where there's a bunch of prompts and you've got to try to watch a film every day of that month. So next month I'll make a video of everything I watched for that, but if you want to see it in real time, go check out my Letterboxd. Again, here's the name. Thanks for watching, bye.